This storm is anything but normal. It's tearing through everything, as if it wants to swallow the entire city. If anyone still thinks this is just heavy rain and strong winds, then look at this scene. This is a real disaster, a raging fury of nature. Nature doesn't warn, doesn't wait. It comes and takes everything away. Out on the streets now. No vehicle dares to move. The wind is so fierce, even motorbikes have to stop, and cars are swaying dangerously. Many people have no choice but to abandon their vehicles and rush to find emergency shelter. The rain lashes the face like a whip. You can't see the road anymore. Everything's a blur of white, with water splashing everywhere. I'm huddled under the awning of an abandoned shop. The wind is gusting at level 10. Sometimes it sounds like it's ripping the metal roof right above my head. I've never seen the city in such chaos. No car horns, no street vendors shouting, only the howling wind, the splashing water, and the sound of things breaking somewhere in the distance. And in the midst of it all, there's fear. The fear of not knowing what's coming next. The rain pours down like a waterfall, blinding everything in white. The wind howls through the streets like a raging beast gone mad. I've never seen anything like this before. The rain is pouring like a flood, and the wind feels like a hurricane sweeping across the plains. If a house isn't built strong, it might not survive until nightfall. The first rooftop was lifted clean off by the wind, torn away like a sheet of paper. A metal panel spiraled into the air, swerved wildly, then slammed into an open field over 100 meters away. Meanwhile, the sky in the distance remains thick with a heavy leaden gray. Massive black clouds roll in, churning like giant masses about to crush the earth beneath them. In the low-lying areas, the sunken parts of the city, things are now beyond control. Water is rushing in from everywhere, down from the hills, from the upper streets, from steep alleyways, all converging into a sudden, unstoppable flood. The murky water surges over every step, every barrier. Nothing can hold it back. Places that hadn't flooded in years are now waist deep. What used to be courtyards and narrow alleys have turned into temporary rivers. The water carries away everything in its path: dry branches, trash, foam boxes. Even motorbikes, tables, chairs, and heavy cargo crates are swept along like floating toys. Anything light flies, anything heavy floats. No distinction between old or new, big or small. Dozens of cars sit motionless in the rising water, submerged all the way up to their windows. Engines silenced, headlights fading, every mechanical sound swallowed by the flood. In that murky stream, small waves keep slapping against the car bodies, making the windshields tremble, until they crack and shatter under the pressure. Water from all directions is rushing toward the river. Small streams from alleys, drainage canals, and higher ground are now merging into a powerful surge, charging down the main river branches like a wild beast finally unleashed. The river's surface is rising visibly by the minute. The water is thick and muddy, its waves not gentle ripples, but rolling surges, swelling higher and crashing into both banks, as if trying to break through anything in their way. Some parts of the riverbank have begun to erode. Chunks of soil and rock are breaking away, first small, then larger pieces, and drifting off with the current. Along the water's edge, several homes just meters from the river are now in an extremely dangerous zone. While residents are drowning in floodwaters, their homes swept away, a lifetime of hard-earned possessions vanishing into nothing. The authorities remain almost silent. No timely warnings, no clear evacuation plans, not even a single apology or transparent explanation. State-run media continues to report in scripted, sanitized tones, avoiding any mention of casualties or the true scale of destruction. Real footage shared by residents is constantly censored, blocked, or taken down. Meanwhile, in the most dangerous areas, rescue teams are almost nowhere to be seen. People are left to fend for themselves, climbing onto rooftops, scrambling for ropes and makeshift wooden rafts to escape. Not a single person has stepped up to take responsibility. No one dares to openly call this a disaster, a failure in both governance and forecasting. In a country of over 1.4 billion people, you cannot simply blame it on a sudden natural disaster. You cannot hide behind the excuse of a historic rainfall to avoid the duty of protecting your citizens, turning a blind eye to a natural calamity. That's not helplessness, that's irresponsibility. And that silence is complicity in the suffering of the people. The time for silence is over. It's time to speak out, to demand transparency, to demand real action, not empty, meaningless words.